Did you know that Missouri has 14 species of bats? My name is Charlie Neal. I'm the Chief of the Environmental Division here at Fort Leonard Wood. And today we're going to meet up with Mr. Jeff Pebworth. He's a wildlife biologist that works in the office, and he's going to tell you a little bit more about the bats, the 3 species here on Fort Leonard Wood that are endangered, and what you can do to help these species.
My name is Jeff Pebworth. I work for DPW Natural Resources, and I'm responsible for managing and protecting the wildlife resources on Fort Leonard Wood. 2 species of bats, the Indiana bat and gray bat, have been endangered for quite a long time. And the main reason that they're endangered is because of disturbance in caves. Both of those species congregate in large numbers, but only in very selected caves. And they're sensitive to any kind of disturbance when people enter those caves when they're during hibernation. What happens is it causes them to wake up, and they'll fly out of the caves and use up all of their energy expenditures that they need to survive the winter. 3 other species of bats, the northern long-eared bat, the little brown bat, and the tricolored bat, only hibernate in caves, and their decline is because of another reason. In 2007, a new fungal disease was discovered in a cave in New York, and because that particular disease causes like a white fuzzy growth of fungus to grow on the bats' faces, they named it white nose syndrome. And those 3 species that I mentioned that are here on Fort Leonard Wood, their populations have declined by more than 90% just in the last decade because of white nose syndrome. We try to limit disturbance around caves, so we have buffers for military training activity right around caves or any kind of development. Another thing is if we have critical bat caves, we've been looking at doing some other measures like putting on bat-friendly gates across the entrance of caves. People have been documented as the main cause for spread of white nose syndrome. So if we can prevent people from going to those caves and spreading white nose syndrome, we have a better chance of trying to protect the bats. And also for the species that are sensitive to disturbance, we can prevent them from disturbing those, especially during hibernation periods. So with that, well, what can people do to help protect the bats? Well, one of the things is try not to go in any caves, especially during the winter when bats are very sensitive during hibernation. Any kind of disturbance that may cause them to fly and do that may mean that they die and can't survive the winter. Also, since white nose syndrome is spread by people, usually on their clothes and boots, if you have to enter a cave, which we don't recommend, you should, at very minimum, clean your clothes and boots, especially if you were going to another cave. That's the last thing we want, is for somebody to spread that to another location. Another thing people can do, and it won't help all of those species, but a few, like the little brown bats and maybe the northern long-eared bats, take readily to bat boxes. So a lot of people are looking at putting in bat boxes, around their businesses or in their backyards, where people can actually enjoy seeing the bats and actually provide a place for them to live. Best thing would be to be very quiet, move slowly, and if you have to watch them for a minute, don't move, but then retreat and leave them alone.